All right, let's dive in, shall we? Today, we're taking a deep dive into something a little different.
Oh,
Yeah, we're going to be looking at lyrics,
okay.
but not just any lyrics.
Right.
We're talking Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're going to break down those iconic lyrics, see what makes this power ballad so enduring.
Interesting.
I know what you're thinking, cheesy 80s, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
trust me on this, there's actually a surprising amount of depth.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about love and loss and longing, all that good stuff.
The whole roller coaster.
Yeah, the whole roller coaster of emotion.
You know, it's fascinating. What's really interesting is that underneath that super catchy melody and those powerhouse vocals,
Yeah.
the structure of the lyrics, it actually mirrors the way relationships and emotions work.
How sad.
They're cyclical. They ebb and flow just like the song itself.
And you know what really drives that home? That repetition of every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that feeling of teetering on the edge. You feel that tension like she's clinging to the edge of a cliff.
Yeah, and we're right there with her.
Exactly. And we don't know, will she fall or will she find a way to pull herself back up?
It's so powerful.
And it's not even this constant state of despair. It's like
Right.
these waves. These waves of intense emotions just keep crashing over her.
And the way she lists them all out, uh, loneliness, tiredness, nervousness, anger, terror.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't hold back.
It's so raw and honest, you know?
Yeah.
And it really gives a voice to all those feelings we all have, but don't always express so openly.
It's like she's giving us permission to feel those things, too.
Absolutely.
And not just the pretty emotions, but like
Oh, yeah.
the messy, difficult ones.
All of them?
Yeah, that's powerful stuff.
It is.
But then there's this clash, right? This internal struggle,
Yeah, I mean,
vulnerability and strength. Like on one hand, she's falling apart, but then she's pleading, hold me tight, and talking about holding on forever.
that push and pull between wanting to be independent and then that need for connection.
Yeah.
It's something that I think so many people can relate to.
Oh, absolutely.
The need to be strong and just get out and cry on your own. But then also that yearning to just be held together by someone else.
Okay, but what about that line, your love is like a shadow on me all of the time? I don't know. I've always found that a little unsettling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is it a good thing or a bad thing that she feels his presence so constantly?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay, so that line I think is really important.
Okay.
Let's unpack it because I think it gets to the heart of what this whole eclipse really means.
Okay.
On the surface, it could sound possessive,
Right?
Yeah. Even suffocating.
Like she's overwhelmed.
Yeah, like maybe she feels overwhelmed by his love.
Okay.
But isn't a shadow also kind of protective?
Whoa. I never thought of it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Could it be that she actually finds comfort in his constant presence?
Even if it feels a bit stifling at times?
Yeah, it's definitely open to interpretation.
Okay.
And that ambiguity is part of what makes it so interesting.
I like that.
But what if we think about it in terms of those big emotions?
Okay.
Psychologists, they talk about how really strong feelings can actually mess with your brain.
Really?
Yeah, and it can lead to this kind of tunnel vision where everything else just fades away.
So maybe the shadow,
Yeah,
it represents how love can just consume her,
exactly.
locking out everything else,
Yeah.
the good and the bad.
It's like an eclipse.
Literally.
Literally.
It's this powerful force that can just darken everything else in her world.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like she's trapped in that shadow.
Yeah.
And it ties into that feeling of being on edge.
Oh, right. Like with the...
Remember Powder Keg? And the
Yeah.
sparks? Yeah, there's definitely a sense of danger,
Yeah.
volatility in the relationship.
You know, this reminds me of a time when I was so in love that I totally ignored all the warning signs.
Oh, yeah?
Like it was exciting, intense, but
Uh-huh.
also a little reckless.
Yeah,
Have you ever felt that kind of all-consuming emotion
totally.
where logic just goes out the window?
Absolutely. And the song captures it perfectly.
Yeah.
It's not just about the darkness of the eclipse, though.
Right.
It's also about the potential for change.
Oh, interesting.
Eclipses are powerful events.
Yeah.
They shift perspectives,
Okay.
and they can really change the course of things.
So maybe this isn't just a love song, but
Yeah.
a song about resilience,
Exactly.
finding strength and hope, even when...
Even when you're in the middle of emotional chaos.
Exactly.
And what's so cool is how the lyrics show both destruction and creation.
Oh, okay.
On the one hand, the eclipse, it could represent the end,
Yeah.
falling apart,
Uh-huh.
but it also hints at, like, a new beginning.
Okay, and that duality is mirrored in the way she describes her partner too, right?
Absolutely.
Like in one line she says, "You'll never be the boy you always wanted to be." But then she calls him the only boy who wanted me the way that I am.
Yeah.
So is she accepting his flaws or is she settling?
That is the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
$1 million question.
Yes.
Can you love someone fully while also seeing
Yeah.
that they might not be perfect?
Right.
And can you be loved for who you truly are?
Yeah.
Even the parts you don't like.
Right, the parts you wish you could change.
Exactly.
It seems like she's saying yes to both.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of what a total eclipse of the heart really means.
What do you mean?
Accepting the good and the bad,
Mm-hmm.
the light and the dark,
Yeah.
both in ourselves and in the people we love.
And it's not just about accepting those flaws, but also recognizing
Yeah.
that those imperfections might be what makes the connection so special.
Right, so unique.
Yeah, they find comfort and acceptance in each other, even if the rest of the world doesn't get it.
That's such a good point.
It's like they've created their own world,
Yeah.
their own little solar system,
Oh, I love that.
where those imperfections don't matter.
Yeah.
They're just two celestial bodies
Totally.
drawn to each other despite their flaws.
And don't forget those literary devices,
Oh, yeah.
like anaphora,
Right.
the repetition of every now and then.
It reinforces that sense of vulnerability
Yeah.
and that emotional turmoil.
It's like these waves keep coming back.
Yeah.
But each time,
Each time she learns to ride them a little bit better.
it's not about erasing those difficult emotions. It's about learning to deal with them.
Yeah, to navigate them.
To find that inner strength
Mm-hmm.
to handle those tough times,
Weather this storm.
even when it feels like you're being pulled apart.
Absolutely. So that brings us back to that big question.
The big one.
Is a total eclipse of the heart destructive or is it transformative?
Right. We've talked about all that darkness, the intensity.
Yeah.
The potential for getting lost in it all.
Yeah.
But what about the flip side? What about that potential for, like, renewal and growth?
It's like, when you have a forest fire?
Oh, okay.
Devastating, right? In the moment, it's awful.
Yeah.
But then it clears the way for new life.
Oh, that's a good point.
And maybe that's what this song is really about.
Okay.
Embracing the whole human experience.
Yeah.
The good and the bad, the light and the dark.
Yeah.
Knowing that even when your heart is breaking,
Mm-hmm.
something beautiful can still grow from it.
Wow. That's a powerful image.
It is.
So it's not about avoiding tough emotions.
Yeah.
It's about learning how to use them.
Yeah, to let them shape us, refine us.
Even if it means going through some tough times.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes this song so beautiful.
Yeah.
It doesn't shy away from the truth about love and relationships.
It's honest.
Yeah, it acknowledges the pain, the vulnerability,
Mm-hmm.
but it also celebrates how strong we can be.
It's like an anthem for anyone who's ever,
Loved and lost.
yeah, and loved again.
A reminder that we can get through those tough times
We can weather those emotional storms.
and come out stronger on the other side.
And even when we feel like we're falling apart,
Yeah.
there's always a chance to put ourselves back together.
Maybe even find some strength we didn't know we had.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from our exploration of total eclipse of the heart?
I hope they hear it with new ears,
Oh, I like that.
that they appreciate not just the music, but also those universal themes.
Yeah.
The depth of emotion.
And maybe next time they hear those opening chords,
Yeah.
they'll think about that eclipse metaphor in a new way.
Not just darkness,
Yeah,
but also as a chance for something new to begin.
absolutely, because sometimes it's in those dark moments that
Yeah.
we discover our true selves.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.
Until next time.
Keep exploring and stay curious.